Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a whole bunch of callers on hold, and I am going to get to them. And it's always fun to see who calls in and where they're calling from and what their questions are. And then it's equally as fun to see what Spirit has to say about it. A little bit of an update in Sweet Home, Alabama. As some of you may have seen, we had a ton of rain last night. I talked to Tim at one point. I came downstairs and he said, "Oh my God, I'm ready to build an ark." I don't know how many inches we had last night, but it was a bunch. And there was a lot of flooding in the area, and it flooded from our patio in through our French doors. So as we speak, we have lots of fans going in the media room. That's where the water came in. So we've been sucking up water and moving fans around and stuff like that today. So, always something fun. Never know what's going to happen. So I hope where you are, I hope everything's good. And I hope you're not sucking up water like we are. Let's go to the phones. And our first caller is Clay. Hi, Clay.
Hi.
How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
Terrific. Where are you calling us from?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville. Oh, terrific. Well, good. Well, you got a question for me? Did you guys get that rain? It's coming your way, probably.
Oh, yes. We're in the middle of it.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. That's crazy.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's not been pretty. But yes, ma'am, I do have a question for you. My dog's name is Tack. She's my service dog. And she has been not feeling too hot. And a couple weeks ago, we went to the vet and they came back with all kinds of crazy blood work and a really significant UTI. So they're treating that with an antibiotic. And I've got probiotics and supplements and everything. But I was just going to see if you could kind of look at her body and just make sure that things are getting better and healing up.
Sure. Spell her name for me, Clay.
Tack, T-A-C.
Okay. That's what I thought you said.
And just, I guess, to be more specific, it's her kidney and her liver values came back high. Her red blood count came back low. They say she's anemic and has, kidney disease. And then the bad UTI.
How old is she, Clay?
Yeah. She's 11 and a half.
Oh, gosh. And what kind of dog is she?
She's a black lab.
Oh, fun. Okay. All right. Have you had her since she was a baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my. Okay. What I'm going to do, Clay, is I'm going to connect into you energetically, and from you, I'm going to connect into Tack, and then I'll have a hologram of her in my mind's eye. I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly. Same with animals. So I'll attach to you, and then from you to her, and then let's see what I can get. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam heading over to you in South Carolina. From Sweet Home, Alabama. And, all right, got you going to Tack. Tack, what is going on with so they're saying she's got kidney failure happening?
Yes, ma'am. They said they could see that.
Yeah. So they gave her an antibiotic and they just told you what? The antibiotic should help?
So she also had a really significant UTI. So They gave the antibiotic for the UTI to clear it up, and then we're supposed to be going back for additional blood work on Saturday, so in 2 days. But they said that we could treat the kidneys and the liver with supplements and stuff holistically.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been trying that. So I was just wondering if she was starting to get better.
Well, her spirit's starting to come out of her body, which tells me that she's getting ready to transition. Now, that doesn't mean she's going to do it today or next week, but it means that she's preparing for that. We are all spirits attached to a body. even animals have a spirit. They are attached to their body too, Clay. And when somebody's transitioning, when they're dying, their spirit exits the body through the top of the head. By the way, I don't edit anything I get when I'm scanning either a human or an animal, because who am I to judge what you need to hear? I'm just the conduit. I'm just the messenger. So her spirit is starting to exit her body through the top of her head. And have you ever seen a cartoon where the thoughts or the words of the cartoon character are in a bubble above their head? That's what this looks like.
Yeah.
If you go on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, there are illustrations. If you click on the 12 phases of transition, there's illustrations there, Clay. And that's what happens with dogs, too. Dogs and other pets, they're not surrounded by angels, but their spirit exits their body the same way. So I'm unable to scan her, because it'd be like the spirit's the power source for the body, Clay, both in animals and humans. And it would be like my trying to look at an X-ray in a pitch black room without any electricity when the power source isn't in the body. But we can talk to her spirit and get some information that way. So, Tack, are you ready to go? No. Are you in pain at times? What do you need? More treats. They usually say more treats. That's the first thing they say. What else do you need besides the treats? More time for what? More time with my family. More time to stay here. Is there anything that Clay and his family can do for you as you're either healing or deciding to transition? She's saying she hasn't really decided yet what she's going to do. So I'm talking to her, do you want Clay and his family to continue the medical regimen that the vet is suggesting? She's saying yes for now. So that's what I'm getting at the moment. Right now, she's transitioning. She may come out of it. I think she's deciding whether she wants to stay or not at this moment. Could be different tomorrow. Could be different next week, next month. But that's what I'm getting right now. I know that's not what you want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let us know what happens. Let us know how she's doing.
Is there anything I can do to make her stay?
No. Her spirit's going to decide that, just like all of our spirits decide that. But like I said, she hasn't made a decision yet. And she tells me she's not ready to go. So I think she's going to be around for a little bit. But she's saying just continue to use the vet to treat her. And that will help her make her decision. So just enjoy her.
Okay, thanks.
Well, you can. Okay. Thanks for calling, Clay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's tough. Oh, gosh. That's the last thing that anybody wants to hear. But like I said, I don't edit anything I get. I'm just a messenger. Okay, let's go to Debbie next. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You are so welcome.
I'm calling from Virginia.
From where? I'm sorry, you cut out.
I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond. Okay, terrific. Now I can hear you well.
Yes.
Well, terrific. Well, thanks for calling in. You got a question for me?
I do. I would like to ask about I'm having trouble balancing I have Hashimoto's, and I'm having trouble balancing my thyroid and my hormone. And I have like 2 different doctors, and I'm not sure where I should be focusing on, like which one, and any information you can give me on that, I'd really appreciate. Thank you.
Sure. Let me get you on my radar and see what's going on, Debbie, and then we'll go from there. So are you working with a GYN on your hormones, and then an endocrinologist on your thyroid?
Actually, between both of them, my primary care actually for my thyroid.
Okay. All right. And has your GYN, is it your GYN that's giving you is it bioidentical hormones you're on or synthetic hormones? Do you know?
Both. I take I take an oral progesterone and bioidentical estrogen cream.
Okay, great. Okay, let me get you on my radar and see what's going on. What are your symptoms? What are you finding when you say you're having trouble balancing them? Are you feeling jittery, or what's going on?
Well, I think I'm like bouncing between being hypothyroid. My estrogen is all over the place. I feel like I can't get it right. I'm on a crazy regimen of like different doses every day of different things that kind of driving me insane.
It's not standard. I mean, you're not like take this medicine in this quantity every day. They're changing it up each day. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah, goodness. Okay. Well, I'm going to hold you over the break. Debbie, I need to take a quick one, and everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll see what's going on with Miss Debbie when we get back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Debbie, and you were saying that you were on bioidentical hormones, estrogen, right, and progesterone. Is that what you're saying, Debbie? And then also thyroid medicine. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
What I saw when I scanned you over the break, Debbie, was a lot of static, like snow on a malfunctioning TV screen. Are you old enough to remember when the TV channels would sign off for the end of the night, and they'd play the national anthem and, have an American flag, and then they'd have that snow on the TV screen. That's what your energy field looks like. So what I am getting is that you're on too much thyroid. And the other thing I'm getting is to go to the doctor that's prescribing the hormones and let them do it all. Because the estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, the sex hormones that we use, they all work in symphony with thyroid and other hormones. And so I would suggest that you work with just one practitioner, because the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. The other thing I did was I started up your thyroid. You've been on thyroid medication for a while?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It just looks like it's asleep. So I cranked it up. It's so funny, Debbie, and I do this a lot with clients where they'll have a thyroid and they've been on medication a long time. Well, the thyroid doesn't need to work because the medication's taking care of what you need. So it doesn't need to produce anything. Mm-hmm. And so when I get it going, it's hilarious because it sounds like a diesel motor starting up. Like, have you ever heard a Harley motorcycle starting up? That I hear that sound. It's hysterical. And I always hear it with the thyroid. So if you feel jittery, get on that with your doctor, because you may need to reduce your dose. That's happened times before. So I hope that helps. I just think you're going to be better off being with one practitioner that really knows what they're doing on the hormones. And that's a special training.
She's just so inaccessible. Like, she's hard to get a hold of. So, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, call your compounding pharmacy, Debbie, and ask them who's prescribing through them, and get a list of doctors. And then you can look them up. That may be a case of finding a different doctor.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
All righty. Thanks for calling. Hope you feel better. Oh, one other thing, Debbie. One other thing.
Yes.
There's a book by a woman named Isabella Wentz. She's a doctorate in pharmacy. Have you read that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. That book's really good too for people that are on thyroid. All right. Well, good luck. Let us know how it goes.
She's fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Kathy next. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, dear.
Hi, girl. How are you?
Julie.
Hi.
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking my call.
You are so welcome. Where are you located?
Port Huron, Michigan.
Oh, I bet it's beautiful.
Yeah. It is. It's very beautiful. And we've been getting rain too, like you, but hopefully you don't have any more. You can dry out safely. Geez. So.
I put
we have a lot of rain here too.
I put a little video on my Instagram page this morning. I was on my walk and it had stopped raining and I was on my walk, and we have a creek that runs through our neighborhood, and I was in my neighbor's backyard where I walk, and it was flooded. It was like rapids. I could not believe it. I've never seen it like that. And she said that when they bought the house that goes down to this creek, they told them that it only floods in every 200 years. She said, maybe this is the 200th year. I said, holy Moses. So yeah, it was pretty wild.
Right. Have to build an ark.
Right. But you have a big body of water near you, not just creeks.
Yes, we do. Yes. And it turns different colors depending on how the sky is. It can reflect a really beautiful turquoise blue, or it can get a gray blue, depending on how the sky works. So
yeah,
it is a place to visit. If you haven't been to Michigan, it's one I recommend. It's a little hidden gem. Listen, the reason for my call tonight, I wanted to do a follow-up. I had spoke with you about a couple of months back in regards to some oral surgery that I was going to have on a tooth, a wisdom tooth that was impacted. And I just recently went through it, and I got my wisdom tooth removed, but I also had to have another tooth right next to it removed because that was compromised by my wisdom tooth being impacted. And they had to put me under, and so I was put under with the least of all evils, I call it. They put me in with Dipepin and Zoloft for nausea in case I would get sick. I'm a lightweight, so the surgery came out fine, but the after effects from being under the anesthesia was a little bit challenging. I had a fluttering heart for about 4 days, the hangover headache, and had some different weirdness, like I had my veins where they put the IV in the hand and stuff swelled up. So I don't know if that was part of the side effects of the drug or if it was just me reacting to the overall. But I'm on the mend. But the only thing is now I've got kind of a tenderness in my area of upper left by the eye tooth, between like tooth number 12 and 11, like that eye tooth, and more of the front side by the sinus. And I was wondering if you could maybe scan me just to make sure things are healing correctly, or it feels more bruised than anything. But I just want to double check with that.
How long ago did you have this surgery?
2 weeks ago, September 24th, it was a Friday. And I did bleed for 24 hours on the teeth. I did have stitches and such, but I bled for quite a while. So I'm thinking maybe because of all the gunk that had been in there. It was nice to see it finally eased up, but I was a little bit lightheaded after that event. So, been taking it slower, but I am on the mend, so that's a good sign. But just having this little bit of tenderness, just out of nowhere, kind of just has been there, and it's been kind of I guess, a concern of mine. So.
Yeah, I bet. All right. Let me get you on my radar, Kathy, and then we'll see what's going on. The first thing I want to do is get the rest of that anesthesia out of you. The doctors say, it stays in your system for 24 hours. No, we can stay in your system for months. Whenever somebody has surgery, I always like to get
detoxer, so.
Yeah, I always like to get my mitts on them to, make sure that the anesthesia's out. All right, I'm going to need to take a quick break. When we come back, Kathy, I'll work on you over the break and give you a report of what I find. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Kathy in Port Huron, Michigan. And Kathy, you had oral surgery a couple of weeks ago, you were mentioning. And so what I did was I just got you on my radar and cleared out the anesthesia first. Have you ever been in a commercial building and they have linoleum on the floor and looks like it has sparkles in the linoleum? Have you ever seen that? It's like little flecks. Yeah. That's what anesthesia looks like to me. It's kind of a grayish, foggy looking color, but it's got sparkles in it. And those are heavy metals in the anesthesia. So I did a heavy metal detox and cleared those out of your system and got the leftover residual anesthesia out of your system. That was the first thing I did. Then I irrigated the socket where the wisdom tooth and your other tooth were pulled. Got those. Those are healing great. I don't see any infection anywhere. Yeah. It looks great. Looks wonderful. Okay. And what I saw for your eye tooth was the nerve looks bruised to me when your surgeon was taking those teeth out, especially your wisdom tooth. I think that nerve may have gotten a little bruised. So I coated it in stem cell energy and hopefully that will help it heal quickly. It's fine. I don't see any damage. It's just bruised. So
Lovely.
I think you're healing great. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job on that.
Well, with your health, it's quite nice.
Oh,
you're such a blessing, Julie. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Kath. Great to talk to you again. Take care.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye. Okay, let's go to Ashley next. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Terrific. Where are you located?
Sioux City, Iowa. So we've talked before. Oh,
yes, we have.
You.
Yes, we have. On my dashboard, all it says is Ashley. So I don't know if you're Ashley Jones or Ashley Smith or Ashley Anderson or who. It just says Ashley. So
I am Ashley Moravec from Sioux City, Iowa.
There you go. Yes, we have talked before. Wonderful. How may I help you, my dear?
So, things that I have going on, I sort of just wanted to sort of put together with what we've already figured out. So there will be just one question. There's just some symptoms that are new-ish, but I think they're all connected. So I've been having a sore throat for for a very, very long time, and no one ever wants to swab it because it looks fine. So last week, I was having a lot of pain in my upper abdominal area and just nausea and bloating that I've had for a while. I was going to have an EGD colonoscopy, but they had to stop because I tested positive for strep B in the throat. Okay. I'm on amoxicillin. It's not getting better. Okay. So now my ears, my throat still hurts, my ears, the nausea in the abdominal area. And then the other thing I have going on that's been going on for a while that I think might be connected, or maybe it isn't, my armpits feel lumpy and inflamed, and especially the one on the right, it's almost like a gastric type muscle pain. And I don't know how else to explain that, but my question is, because I haven't gotten swabbed in my throat for so long, we had talked about candida and mold, and now that there's this strep B happening, my question is sort of, and I know strep B can cause GI stuff too. I think there's candida and mold there, but what I wonder is if the strep B at all corroborates or connects with the candida and the mold, or if, I guess what I'm suspecting, tell me if I'm wrong, does candida in the body colonize strep B faster? I know we technically all have it in the body, but if I have this other stuff going on, is that why? Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
No, it does not. What candida does is
things.
Right. Candida whacks your immune system because the immune system is based in the gut.
Okay.
And so you get strep and then they give you antibiotics, which they need to for the strep. And then the antibiotics whack your immune system some more. And then you catch something else and then they give you some other medicine for that. And then it whacks your immune system. And then you're just on this hamster wheel, Ashley. So if you don't feel better, I would talk to the doctor. You may need to be on a different antibiotic. In the meantime, what I would do is, have you ever heard of colloidal silver? Liquid colloidal silver.
I've been reading about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go get some of that. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it at Whole Foods. You can get it a lot of places. CVS sometimes has it.
Okay.
Walgreens. And put a little bit of it, like an inch of it in a juice glass, and then put the same amount of water in it and then gargle with it twice a day. And then don't eat or drink anything for a half an hour. Silver, that's a liquid silver. Bacteria cannot live in a metallic environment. So colloidal silver, when you gargle with it, don't swallow it. Just gargle with it and then spit it out. It helps knock that out in your throat. It works great. And silver is one of those metals that back in the day, the really wealthy people in their mansions had silver doorknobs. Sometimes you'll see them in an antique store and they're all engraved.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's because they knew that if they had silver doorknobs, that bacteria couldn't live on them, and so it kept people healthier. So go get some colloidal silver.
Okay.
Gargle with it, and then you'll feel better.
It plays the song and dance with the Candida, and so it's just, that's okay, got it, perfect.
Yeah.
And he said an inch of the colloidal silver, and then just match that with an inch of water and gargle. Am I getting that
gargle,
right? Or like 8 ounces of water.
No, you can't gargle with 8 ounces of water. Oh. I'm talking about a little bit of water, a little bit of silver. Yeah. But don't eat or drink anything after you gargle, because we want those silver particulates to stay in your throat. I think it makes sense to do it right before you go to bed, because you're not going to be eating or drinking anything while you're sleeping. So do it right before you go to bed. If your throat's really sore, you can do it 2 or 3 times a day. It'll really help a lot. And then if you don't get better, then call your doctor, because you may need a different antibiotic, and have them call in an order for nystatin for you as well, an antifungal, because it's going to mess up your stomach. Okay. So I hope you feel better. Thanks for calling.
Julie.
You're welcome. All righty. Let's go to Miss Daisy next. Hi, Daisy. Hi, Daisy.
Hi. Yes, I'm Daisy from Ocala, Florida. I'm calling because a couple of days ago, I realized there was a dark brown on my skin below the knee on my left leg. And I'm wondering if that is a DVT, or am I eating too much lentil soup with spinach, or is it the activated charcoal that I'm taking to get rid of the mold?
Huh. You have a spot, like a brown spot, like a liver spot that you see on old people?
Yes. It's the entire left side of the leg, below the knee. Yes. And I'm kind of scared because I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Daisy, you need to get that checked.
The same side where my leg is kind of a little bit numb.
Okay. Is it swollen?
No, it's not. No, not at all. I've been having very dry skin all over my body. I don't know, like I'm dried up inside, but I just noticed that brown spot and kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. What I'm doing is I'm roto-rootering your vascular system in your leg, but I think you need to get it checked. I think you need to call the doctor.
I'm not able to go to a doctor because of my back. I haven't been able to leave the house in a year and a half because of my stabbing pain on the lower back. So I don't know.
Take a picture and send the picture to your doctor. You can do a Zoom call with your doctor, and they can see it on your phone.
I used to be able to do Zoom calls, but they stopped that. So what's going on with the leg?
You got a vascular problem there. I think it needs to be checked sooner than later. So if you need to call, call whoever and get somebody to help you. And you need to either talk to a doctor and show them.
How do I treat it at home in the meantime? Because I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I think you need to leave your foot elevated and have your leg elevated. But this is something you need to talk to a doctor about. This is above my pay grade, girl. I roto-rooted your vascular system, but I really believe you need to be seen. So you need to figure out a way to make that happen. Okay.
Okay. What kind of doctor do I need to see?
You just need to see a family practice doctor can help you. Just somebody. And if you need to, if it starts swelling or it starts getting red, you need to get to the emergency room on that and not mess around with that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Daisy. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Let's go to Deirdre next. Hi, Deirdre.
Hey, Julie.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm good. How are you? Good.
I'm wonderful.
I have a quick question. We talked before in the past. I had the hour-long thing and all that. And it was right after my husband got out of the hospital. And he had been in with diverticulosis and went through colonoscopy and all that stuff about 6 months later because there was an infection. And it seems like he keeps going back through the infection.
Okay, I'm going to need to hold you over. We're going to need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see what's going on with your husband. Everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Deirdre. Deirdre, did you tell everybody where you're located?
I am located in Bradenton, Florida.
Bradenton. All right. And you started to tell us about your husband, that your husband just got out of the hospital. Finish your story there. Sorry, I had to go to break.
Hospital in April.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. He was in the hospital in April with an infection with a diverticulosis, like 4 days. Came out, thought everything would be fine. Wait 7 weeks, like they said, to have the colonoscopy. And he had that. Everything seemed fine. They removed polyps. They saw where the, I guess the diverticulitis spot was. They said it looked like actually a cigarette lighter, like you'd pull out of a car and you would burn something. And that he actually saw it, and he said that's exactly what it looked like. So we think it's healing and all that. But he's had 2 more times he's been on antibiotics. And then this week, all of a sudden, there's another issue with, I'm not feeling good. His fever went up to just below 100, but not feeling good, nauseous, pain in the upper stomach. And we're like, okay, I guess, what is it?
Yeah.
Nobody can figure it out.
Tell us his name, please.
William. He's sitting right here beside me.
Hi, William. Can you hear us?
Thank you. I don't have you on speaker, so you can't exactly hear everything. I know better.
Oh, gosh. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you know better because the feedback is obnoxious. It'll make everybody's ears hurt on this end.
I do.
Tell him we're sending him love from Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to him. I'll connect to you and then to him. So here we go. Got that. Yeah, he's inflamed again. All right. Did you get him on an antifungal when he was on the antibiotics?
The nystatin?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about nystatin?
Yes.
No, and I keep saying you need to go on nystatin. You need to go on nystatin.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He needs the nystatin. There's a lot of inflammation. Yeah. All right. So what I'm doing is he's still got those little pockets where food's getting stuck. So we're going to just irrigate those out and get all the little particulates out. And then I'm injecting stem cell energy. It's spirit. You know how this works. It's spirit working through me and with me.
I do.
Injecting stem cell energy in there to smooth out those little nooks and crannies where food is getting caught, and then it gets infected because it stays there. So we're going to make him slick inside his intestines here. Stem cell energy, looks like
doing this. Quit eating it, whatever it is.
What's that?
I said, I keep telling him, quit eating whatever it is that you're eating that's doing this. We are so careful. So careful.
No, I don't think it's what he's eating. I think it's just his stomachs and his intestines are inflamed. And he's on that cycle that I was talking about earlier with our earlier caller about how, your stomach gets whacked, you get some kind of a condition, they give you more antibiotics, and then you're on this vicious cycle going round. So, so that's good. All right. Stem cell energy, he's got new intestines, basically a new intestinal tract that's slick as a whistle, and hopefully that will help.
Good.
Yeah, I would get him on an antifungal.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
In the morning.
Tell him we hope he feels better. Okay. Thanks, girl.
You,
Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's tough when you got to take the antibiotics because you got the infection, but then it whacks your stomach. So it's just kind of it's all over. All right, let's go to Kathleen next. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You are most welcome. Where are you located?
I'm living in Charlotte, North Carolina right now.
Oh, Charlotte's lovely. Wonderful. Well, you got a question for me?
Beautiful city.
Yeah, the do. Queen City, right?
Yeah, exactly. I recently went to the doctors in June, and they found some pre-cancerous cells in my right breast. They did a biopsy. They sent me to do an MRI. I've shifted what I've been eating and, really detoxifying my body and being very conscious holistically. Mm-hmm. And this last time after the MRI, they said that they found 2 other small spots, so small that they don't know that even a mammogram mammogram biopsy would find it. Mm-hmm. So they would want me to go back in for another MRI biopsy. And I'm just, I'm feeling like my body's telling me there's not a need for all that. And so I'm just curious what your guys are saying. And I'm really focusing on the holistic approach.
Mm-hmm. Well, the body has a tremendous capacity to heal, number one. Number two, if they're so small that a mammogram won't even see it, is that gonna, is your gut telling you, let's watch it and see what happens, and then I can go in and get another test?
Yeah, my doctor never offered this until I pushed back recently, but she finally came out and said, well, I could just have mammograms every 6 months for the next 2 years, and that seems the most logical to me.
Yeah. Follow your gut on that. Let me take a look real fast and see what's going on. You said it's in the right breast. They found some spots?
They did, yeah.
All right. And what are they calling it? What kind of cancer?
They said pre-cancer cells.
Pre-cancer.
There's a whole long name for it. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Pre-cancer, I think you follow your gut. You clean up your diet.
Abnormal cells.
The body has a tremendous capacity to heal. I don't even see anything. I mean, I see a couple of little.
Yeah, AD8 is what it is.
Yeah, it looks like a little speck of pepper. So I've encapsulated it. I mean, it's teeny weeny, 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 and we all have cancer cells, and our immune systems take care of them. So I even am in the process of trying to do a DNA healing on you, and it doesn't want to work. I mean, you don't even need a DNA healing. So follow your gut.
That's what I felt. So Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome. When I see a cancer patient, normally, Kathleen, I'll see 7 or 8 strands of DNA come out and get resequenced back to a normal recipe. You don't have any strands coming out. So I think you're good to go. Yeah. Okay. All righty. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on and see what they have to ask. Stay with us. We're having a wonderful time on the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. And we're back. And we do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035, and the access code is 483-620-pound. Now, this information is available a lot of different places. First of all, on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes, anywhere you download podcasts. You can download it we're on pretty much every network, and we're also on YouTube and Alexa. Please remember to subscribe and leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Again, it's ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And when you do, you're entered into a drawing for a free session with me. I got to talk to September's winner yesterday afternoon, and she was just darling. And she just was so excited when I got her on the phone, and we got to chat for an hour about a whole bunch of different topics. And she said, there's no way I could have afforded this. Thank you so much for giving it away. And that's why I do it, because I know $200, which is what I charge for a private consult for an hour. I know that's a lot of money for a lot of people. And so it's something that I can do. And I give it away the first Thursday of every month. So ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And you too could be the next winner. All right. Call-in details can also be found on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at Ask Julie Ryan. All my social media is at Ask Julie Ryan. And we post a reminder to call in the day of the show. So if you're thinking, okay, is Julie doing a live show tonight? Just go to Ask Julie Ryan on any of my social media channels and you'll see the call-in number and everything. While you're on my site, AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. And of course, in the body of the newsletter, what do we have? We have the call-in numbers. I'm trying to make it easy on you guys. And then while you're there, you can schedule an appointment with me. I'm booked out for a while, but just get on my calendar, and then on your confirmation email, there'll be a reschedule button. Click on that periodically, and it will show sooner appointments that become available. Happens all the time. I had 2 become available today. One's for next Monday. It's probably already taken, but somebody that's scheduled maybe at the end of the year is going to be able to get in next Monday. So just check it, and then you can reschedule to an earlier date. My class Angelic Attendant training is full. I started it last week for October. I have 12 amazing, extraordinary people that are learning to do woo-woo, and they'll be able to do everything that I can do. Anybody can learn this stuff. It's just a matter of just developing and enhancing your skills. January is full. April is full of next year. July of next year is half full. So if you're thinking about taking the class, go ahead and sign up for it because they're filling up fast. And the good thing is there's a payment program there that's interest free. So if it's a few months out, it'll be all paid and you can have a while to pay on it. So just wanted to let you know about all of that. All right. This week, the question is from Aslan from Toronto, Canada. Hope I'm saying your name right. Aslan is how I'm pronouncing it. And she said, "Hi, Julie. I've recently discovered your material and I'm enjoying your insights. I would like to ask about my interest in Scandinavia. It's one I've developed over the past several years. I feel as if I've had lifetimes in this area, and many of these actually take place in what we consider the future, even though it's all happening simultaneously. I get the impression that one of these lives begins in Bergen, Norway, sometime around 2030, overlaps with my current life, and my mother's name is Jenny. I'm also feeling that I'll have a future life in Solrod, Denmark. Are these impressions correct? Thank you, Aslan." Here's my response. I thought that was those were great questions. And I said, "Hi, Aslan. Thanks for such an interesting question. I find exploring past and future lifetimes to be both fascinating and fun. They are so much fun to do because oftentimes we can get information from past lives that we can corroborate with historical documents online. And there's no way we would know this stuff. So I love doing past lives and getting that kind of information. I went on to say, with regard to the passion you feel about Scandinavia, I get, meaning I received information from Spirit, comes into my head. I received information from Spirit. You indeed have had several past lives in that part of the world. In fact, I get 47 of your past 100 lifetimes were lived in Scandinavian countries. Now, keep in mind, time doesn't exist in the spirit world. It's a human creation. So it's feasible 100 human lifetimes may not even be a blip on the radar screen in the spirit world. That's assuming they have radar in the spirit world. It's just an analogy that I'm using here. As for your seeing future lifetimes, when I asked Spirit if you were actually seeing with your mind's eye a future lifetime, I got a no. But then, when I asked if our spirit can live in multiple lifetimes at the same time, I got a yes. That didn't make sense to me. So what do? When you're getting answers from Spirit and they don't make sense, you just keep asking questions. You refine it down. You guys know that, who've listened to me for a while. You just keep asking questions and refine it down. Those answers prompted me to ask Spirit for clarification, and I got your future lives are in the process of being created based on your interests in this lifetime. In essence, you got a preview of a life you may create. Because remember, our thoughts create our reality, and our thoughts create future realities too, because it's stuff that we want to explore. It's kind of like a preview of a movie that will be released at a future date. When movie trailers are shown, the actual movie is oftentimes still being made and can be in various stages of filming, editing, adding the soundtrack, etc. It's still being formulated, like our lives. Same thing. Trying to wrap our heads around this past and future life subject can be daunting. We try to make sense of something for which we don't have a human frame of reference. Having said all that, it's been my experience things that have happened are set, things that are happening right now are set, and future events are fluid. Unlimited variables, including free will, natural disasters, pandemics, can arise and affect a future outcome. As we approach the holidays, look for the Nisa, Norwegian, Tomte, Swedish, and Tontu, Finnish. They're known as mythological elves from Nordic folklore, typically associated with the winter solstice and the Christmas season. I know you guys have all seen those little elves with the pointed hats on. Oftentimes they're red hats, little elves. Those are from Nordic folklore. And then I ended it with, I feel certain you'll be surrounded by all of them, meaning the little elves. So yeah, you go to Minneapolis and places where they have a lot of Scandinavian people who are from there. You know, I mean, like their families have immigrated there. They got all that elf thing all over the place. So Aslan, thanks so much for that question. I thought that was just terrific and enjoyed answering it for you. Okay, let's go back to the phones and let's go to Lois next. Hi, Lois.
What am I talking about?
Hi, Lois.
About vascular.
Lois.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Hi, Jill.
How you doing?
I don't know. Not so good.
Not so good. You're in Are you still in New Orleans?
Yes, ma'am. We're still in New Orleans. And
okay.
I talked to you a long time ago, but I have the problem now of macular degeneration.
Uh-oh.
And I don't feel like anything is going to be accomplished through trying to heal it. Can you give me any help with that?
Yeah, I work on that all the time. I worked on a woman yesterday who had it, a private client. So let me get you on my radar, Lois. I thought of you when all that last hurricane was coming in, and I hope you guys got through that okay.
Yeah, we had a lot of house damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you evacuate?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. After the storm, we had to. Yeah.
Oh gosh. But you're back in your home now?
We're back in it, and it's going to be fixed, but we're living in just part of it. We'll probably have to move out when they really start on it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm working on your eyeballs. I've got you. I'm connected into you. I've gone in through the back of your head, so I'm looking at your right eye. Your right eye looks worse than your left right now. And so what I'm watching is stem cell energy fill that hole. It seems to me that the vision is messed up in the middle and you have peripheral vision is what I'm seeing. Is that what you're seeing in your eye when you're looking through your eye, when you're using your eye to see?
I don't know. I can't follow what you're saying.
Can you see stuff on the side of your eye, but not necessarily in the center?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So I'm using stem cell energy to heal the center part where you're having trouble seeing. And it seems to me that the energy went to your right eye first, Lois. So that's the one that we're working on first. Okay, is your right eye worse than your left? Have they told you that, or are they about the same? They're about the same? Okay.
I used to, if I looked a certain way, could actually see a hole.
Yeah.
It would get dark, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to need to take a quick break. When I come back, Lois, I'm going to work on you over the break. When I come back, I'll give you a report of what I've done. In the meantime, stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Lois in New Orleans about her eyes and her vision. Lois, are you still with me?
Yes, I am, Julie. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I worked on your eyes, both of them, and I used stem cell energy to regenerate the part that's starting to get a hole in it. You started to say when we went to the break that you could see a hole in your one eye if you looked sideways. Is that what you were telling me?
For some reason, I could see a dark if
spot.
I looked a certain way, but I can't even remember how I did that, and I just can't do it now. I don't see a hole now.
Okay. All right. So I use stem cell energy to do that. Have you had cataract surgery in the past, Lois?
No.
Okay. Well, you got cataract surgery during the break because I took your lenses out and put new, they're called IOLs, intraocular lenses in. I've been in a whole bunch of those surgeries back in the day. And then one little stitch on the outer corner of your eye on both sides. And then I balanced your eyes so that they were seeing the same out both directions. And then what I did was I tunneled through the vascular system in the back of your eye just to make sure that that's all clear. So you get really good blood flow into the back of your eyes. So hopefully that will help you heal.
I can't tell anything right now.
Yeah, well, the way the healings work, Lois, is they integrate into your body. And that can happen instantly. It can take days, weeks, months. It may need some kind of complementary care, like you need to have a procedure done or take medicine, but it will help you heal. So I hope that helps improve your vision. Thanks for calling. Take care. Good luck with your house. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go to Madison next. Hi, Madison.
Hi, it's actually Lisa, but the phone is under my daughter's name, Madison. Oh. And let me tell you, thank you so much. You are such a blessing.
Oh, you sweet thing. Thank you for saying that. Same right back at you, babe.
So beautiful inside and out. I was just looking at your picture on my cell phone. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. How may I help you? First of all, where are you?
Calling from Long Island, New York.
Okay, great.
Very good.
All right. You got a question for me?
Only recently discovered you, and I have some questions. I currently have chronic lymphocytic leukemia, and I started chemo, I guess, about a year now. Mm-hmm. And I'm responding to the chemo. My blood count, my white count has gone from 170,000. I finally got it down to about 60,000. I'm just still feeling very symptomatic from the leukemia, the fatigue, the bone pain. I don't know if it's the chemo. They call it like a chemo brain. And I just need you to take a peek and let me know. I have my miracle baby who's 25 years old, getting married in 2 years. I just want to know what I could or should be doing on my end to make sure that I'm going to be there for that wedding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me get you on my radar. The first thing that comes in my head, Lisa, is, have you read the book Radical Remission?
No, I haven't.
Radical Remission. It's terrific. Terrific. I can't remember who the author is, but if you Google it, you'll see it. Even if you go on Amazon, you'll see it. Just type in Radical Remission. And it's the research done by a woman who, I believe she was getting her doctorate at UCLA at the time. And she worked in an oncology clinic, and she met a bunch of patients that were in remission. And she asked the doctors, she said, do you have patients in remission? And they said, yeah, all the time. And she said, well, do you tell your other patients? And they said, no. And she said, why not? And they said, because we don't want to give them a false sense of hope. And she thought that was just crazy. So for the next year or two, she went around the world and she interviewed people who were cancer patients that were sent home because the doctors couldn't do anything else for them. And she came up with what the common denominators were to help them get well. And most of them were completely healed. And it was regardless of where they lived, what country, what socioeconomic status. I mean, it's all across the board. So I always recommend Radical Remission as a book for anybody that has a cancer diagnosis. You want to check that out. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, I'm connecting into you right now, Lisa. Here comes my laser beam up to Long Island from Sweet Home, Alabama, as I like to say. And got you shooting energy through you. Okay. First thing we're doing is what I was just talking about with the DNA healing. You've got 7 strands that have come out of an X chromosome. They look like pieces of paper that you'd see inside a fortune cookie with the fortune written on them, is what DNA strands look like to me. Now, my analogies are hilarious at times. That's just how they come into me. So I can tell you so you can envision it. Because if you can envision the healing as I'm describing it, Lisa, what's going to happen is it's going to help integrate it into your body. So DNA is the recipe that tells the cells how to behave. It's comprised of 4 nucleic acids. The letters are representing these nucleic acids. They're ATCG. There can be 100,000 letters on a strand. There can be 1 billion letters. I'm watching them get resequenced. So what's happening is when we have some kind of an exposure to something, usually a toxin, it messes up our DNA. We have a mutation. What I watch happen in these DNA healings is I watch the DNA get turned back, resequenced back into a normal recipe, if you will. So I'm watching that happen. 3 strands have already snapped back in. It's normal that I'll see 7 strands, usually. So I'm doing that. I'm going to need to take a quick break, Lisa. I'll continue to work on you over the break. And when we come back, I'll give you a report. Everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, and I'll give you an update on what's happening with Miss Lisa in this healing. So stay with us. Welcome back. We were talking with Lisa here right before the break. And Lisa, I continued to work on you over the break, and I finished the DNA healing. I like to do that first because once we get the DNA resequenced energetically, then the other stuff's easier to release. And so what I did next was I did a lymph cleanse. Lymph fluid cracks me up because it looks like, are you old enough to remember lava lamps?
Oh, yes.
That globby stuff inside a lava lamp, moving up and down. That's what lymph material looks like, lymph fluid. And it's kind of amber color. And so I irrigated that. And then I did a blood cleanse. Spirit working through me and with me, obviously, when I say I. And then there was a blood cleanse done. I'd love to have you for an hour. If you want to schedule an appointment with me, I'd love to do a deep dive with you, and then we can really go after what the root cause of this is and be sure that we can, do what we can to help you heal. The one last thing, Lisa, that I got when I was working on you was for you to look into acupuncture. Find somebody that works with chemo patients who's doing acupuncture, and that can help you detox from the chemicals. Okay.
Will do.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks so much for calling. I appreciate it, and I hope you feel better. Take care.
Very soon. Thank you so much.
Terrific. All righty. Thanks. Bye-bye. Let's go to Brenda next. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. I'm so happy to be here. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts.
Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I could use a reboot to my immune system.
Okay.
So, and I guess my question would be, what can I do on my end to help boost it?
Yeah, what's going on? Have you been sick for a while?
No, I've just been stressed for a while and a lot on my plate and really tired and yeah.
So you think it's more stress related than anything?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So I'm connecting to you right now from my body to yours. I'm hooking you up. I'm shooting energy into you from your feet up through the top of your head. That's going to give you some energy. Have you heard me talk about the 2-minute rule, Brenda? That's what I'm being led to talk to you about. Okay. You're going to love this. The 2-minute rule works great, and it's free and it's convenient because it works anywhere your brain is, and your brain's usually with you wherever you are. So, doesn't get any better than that. Here's how it works. When we have a thought that feels badly, it's based in fear. It's our spirit saying, this thought needs some exploration. 2 kinds of fear: rational fear, irrational fear. Rational fear is real. Irrational fear is fake. It's fake news. Our heads are big satellite dishes, Brenda, and they receive and transmit frequencies. Every thought has its own frequency, and thoughts originate in the ethers. We pull them in. They don't originate in our heads like most of us think. They originate in the ethers, and it's like they're broadcast on a frequency much like a radio station. 94.7 megahertz. You're listening to classic rock. That's the frequency at which that music's through which that music's being broadcast, or on which, I guess is probably the correct way to say this. So when we have a thought that feels neutral or good, we're in alignment with our spirit, which is pure love. When we have a thought that feels bad, it's worthy of investigation. Here's how you tell whether it's real or not. You ask yourself, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? What are you stressed about? Give me an example of what are you stressed about?
Time. Too
What
much
about
on my
time?
plate. I love what I do for work, and I do a little too much of it and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So if you don't get everything done at work, then what happens?
It gets piled on to the next day. I work for myself.
And if it gets piled on to the next day, is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes?
No.
So you're making that up. You're stressing yourself with a fake belief. Now, if you have a thought like, oh my God, I'm in the street and there's a bus headed towards me, that's a rational fear. Get out of the street before it runs you over and kills you. But we make all this stuff up and we stress over it, and it's an illusion. It's fake news. It's fake. So if you don't get all your work done, here's a news flash. We never get it all done, ever, whatever it is. And when we do, you know what happens? We're dead and we're in heaven and we're dreaming up something else to come back and explore. So you're not getting all your work done. You're stressing out over it. What you want to do is you want to break that connection as soon as you start feeling negative thoughts. Because, we get in this like black hole. Oh my God, if I don't get all the work done, then this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and then I'm going to go bankrupt and I'm going to be homeless and starving. Really? Probably not. Right? But we all do that. So what you want to do is you want to interrupt that frequency. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If it is, change the conditions. If it isn't, which is 99.9% of the thoughts we have that feel badly, you've broken that connection. You're back in alignment. You'll get another thought. And the thought will be, okay, I'll just deal with this tomorrow. And you know how many tomorrows have come and you still have more work than you can do, but life goes on, right? So 2-minute rule, my girl, it will rock your world. Make it a habit. Use it unlimited times a day in every situation when you're feeling a negative thought. Knock it out. What you're going to find is when you make it a habit, and it only takes a nanosecond to do it. I do it all day long. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? No, boom, I'm out of there. And I'm on to something that feels better. When you do that, and remember that our thoughts create our reality, You're going to find that you feel good most of the time. And the day will come, I promise, when you'll say to yourself, God, I feel good most of the time, but I don't even know why. You'll know why, because you're in alignment with your spirit. And those thoughts feel either neutral or good. So 2-minute rule. Try it. You like it. Okay. All righty.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brenda. Take care. Bye-bye. 2-minute rule is my favorite thing. And we hammer that in our class because it's the root to staying in alignment. And nobody stays in alignment 100% of the time because we create out of the contrast. When we know what we don't want, it helps us create what we do want. And when you're in alignment 100% of the time, you're dead and you're in heaven because we're here to create. All right, let's go to Larice next. Hi, Larice.
Oh, hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Super, thank you. I'm in Pasadena, California.
Right.
I have a curious question for you. I want to know if you and Spirit can help me with my feet. They've gotten wider over time, and I can't wear some of my shoes.
Okay. Do you have bunions?
No.
Okay. All right. Feet get wider over time. And that's just a pretty common thing. It's pretty common, especially with women, because, we wear shoes that mess up our feet a lot of the time. So, what I'm watching happen is I'm watching your feet get bound like a geisha. You know how they bind them with cloth strips? The geisha girls when they're little to keep their feet from growing. So their feet are tiny, tiny, tiny. And so I'm watching that. Are they swollen, Larice?
No.
Okay.
No, I went to the shoe store because, like I said, I can't wear some of my, sneakers and stuff. And I just, what's going on with my feet? Are they growing? They go, no, they're getting wider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What happens, and I'm not a podiatrist, so I'm not an expert on feet, but what I'm watching happen is I'm watching that the ligaments and stuff start to relax, and so that makes the feet wider. Kind of like when they're pulled up with the arch. Sometimes people's arches start to get less pronounced, and that's what I'm watching. So sounds to me like you need some new shoes. Go enjoy buying some new shoes and be comfortable.
Okay, I will do that.
All righty. Thanks, Louise. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Diane next. Hi, Diane.
Hi.
How are you, girl?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Diane's my mom's name. My name is Gabriella.
Oh, hi, Gabriella. Beautiful.
Hi, I'm calling from Daly City, California.
Terrific.
And
how may I help you?
I've been having heart issues. I've had chest pain, and all my tests are coming back normal. But it's like an increased heart rate all the time, and they're assuming since I'm 23 years old that I don't have any heart issues. But ever since I've had a CT scan and had an allergic reaction and been on prednisone, I have been having heart pain and chest pain, and shortness of breath.
Well, yeah, it's a steroid. It hypes you up. Steroids, that's why you're like the Energizer Bunny when you're on steroids.
That was 2 months ago, though, and I'm still having the chest pressure pain.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar and let's see what's going on. Oh, yeah. That's, when you're on steroids, you get a lot done just because you're like the Energizer Bunny. All right. I'm going to hold you over for the break. And when we come back, I'll give you a report of what I saw when I scanned you during the break. Everybody stay with us. When we return, we'll see what's going on with Gabriella. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Gabriella. What a gorgeous name. You sound like a saint. Saint Gabriella. Is there a Saint Gabriella? Do you know? Are you still with me? Hello, hello, Gabriella. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I lost her during the break. Okay, well, hopefully she'll hear this on the download. And what I saw was the chest pain, your hormones are out of whack, especially your thyroid. So what I did was I put a little energetic thyroid into you, and I suggest that you call a compounding pharmacy in your area and ask them who's doing bioidentical hormones. And that includes it's not just the sex hormones, it includes thyroid as well. And you can find a doctor in your area. The other thing you can do is you can go to IFM, I as in ice, F as in Frank, M as in Mary, IFM.org. And that's the Institute for Functional Medicine. And you can put your zip code in there, find a practitioner, and find a doctor. There's going to be lots of people in the Bay Area that are going to be functional medicine doctors that can help you with that. So I hope you feel better with that. Thanks for calling, Gabriella. Okay, let's go to Pam next. Hi, Pam. Hi. Hi, Pam. Pam. Okay, well, technical difficulties at the end of, technical opportunities, I should say, at the end of the show. That's what my husband Tim always says. He doesn't say difficulties or problems. He says opportunities. We have opportunities. So that's what we'll say. And I'm glad it happened at the end of the show. So Blake, my wizard, and I will figure out what's going on. In the meantime, go to all of my social media places. We post all kinds of fun things throughout the week. You can see a video of the creek overflowing for me. And you can also see quotes and things that I talk about. I make little videos during the week. Sometimes I'm pretty scary looking. I've got my Farmer Julie hat on, and I'm out working in the yard in my garden, and I'll give you an update of what's going on there. Sometimes it's how do I do medical intuitive healing? Sometimes it's what happens when we die, all of those things. And it's just little bits and pieces so that you can dissect them in little morsels. How about that? In the meantime, if you're thinking about signing up for my training, go ahead and do it. As I said, my July of 2022 class is half full already. And it's such a blast when we do that. Extraordinary people from all over the world. I think we've had 11 countries of people who live in 11 different countries that have taken it. The only prerequisite is that you got to speak English, because that's the only language that I speak. So everybody that takes the class is just extraordinary. And if you're led to take the class, take it. And like I said, there's a payment program that's interest-free there that you can use. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on Alexa. We're on YouTube. I've got a team of people that help me with all of this, and I'm so grateful because they make my life easier. There's no way there are enough hours in the day for me to do it all by myself. My newest book, Angel Messages for Cats, is coming out the end of the year, and that's a children's picture book in the series, the Angel Messages series. Angel Messages for Kids was my first children's book. Angel Messages for Dogs was last year, and Angel Messages for Cats is this year. Primarily because I've never had a cat, but I had to do some recon on it to find out what cats do, and got lots of great ideas, and that's what went into the book. And angels talking to cats, and really talking to the little children in the form of, talking through the cats. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. And then one other sneak preview of something I'm working on, which is an online training that's going to be self-paced. And it's going to go through the 12 phases of transition, how to communicate with spirit, and how to do the walk to heaven. So that'll be just a couple of hour training, dissected into a bunch of little segments. And so I'm working on that right now, and I hope to have that out shortly for those of you that just want something little and you want to learn how to do woo-woo and kind of dip your toe in the woo-woo world. And that'll be a good way to do it. So everything's at AskJulieRyan.com. all my social media and everything's at Ask Julie Ryan. And I so appreciate you guys listening and participating in this community, because it's what a joy to do this every week. It's just one of the highlights of my week is to get to talk to these people from last week. We had people from 5 countries call in and ask questions. So with that, everybody have a wonderful weekend. Meet you back here next Thursday night. To those of you I didn't get on, please call back. We'll get you on next week, and sending you lots of love from Sweet Home Alabama. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.